So tell me about how being sick has affected you being able to go to school.
Well, it affected me for me able to go to school because I always have to go to school for a half a day to go to dialysis.
So what was that like, missing half a day of school a couple times a week?
Well, it was sad because I never I always have to be there for like half of the time, and then my mom had to take me to the dialysis, and I always miss out on all of the things that we be doing.
How do you suggest people deal with missing school when they're in the hospital or something?
Emailing teachers, definitely keeping in contact with them and up on your homework. And if you can't handle all of the work, be honest with them. Maybe even ask for homebound services if it's going to be a long time.
When I need more help at school, I let someone know when I need it.
I mean, I missed all of second grade pretty much, but my mom kept me up with it at home with all my homework and stuff, and I just kept with it.
Yeah, missing school was difficult because when we would be home, we never knew how long we would be home for before we'd have to come back to the hospital, but all the doctors would say still try to maintain normal life and still go to school and do what you can. So I tried to do that with him and say, let's go to school and let's get through it. And it was difficult because there were days that he just couldn't do it. He couldn't get through school. So we would, come home and just try to accommodate him from the way he was feeling and do the work at home and, let him just do what he felt he could do. And then in the hospital, we would sometimes take advantage of the school program that they had here, and he would go with some other kids and do that, and that was a good thing. And sometimes the teacher would visit him in his room and do some of the work with him there. So that was great. And the kids were very supportive of him. They missed him, they sent him cards, they sent gifts and things like that to kind of keep him in the loop of school and whatnot. And then when he came back, of course, they were so happy that he was back.
When I was in second grade, they couldn't wait for me to come back to school, and they'd ask how long I was staying at school because I never would stay for the whole day. They just all treated me like I was coming back to school and treated me like I wanted to be a normal kid again.
Sometimes the questions they would ask him would be overwhelming to him. He just wanted to be normal, and he knew he wasn't normal, and so kids would constantly say, well, how long are you going to be here? Are you going to go back anytime? And so that kind of got hard, I think, but after he started staying more and more, he kind of meshed back into that normalcy, but it did take some time.
What we had decided early on was that if Michael felt good enough to go to school, even though it was at the height of germ season, we'd let him go. But we also talked to the school and said, hey, do you mind if we get hand sanitizer and, antibacterial wipes and things for like that for the classroom, and would you use it? And they said, absolutely. As a matter of fact, we'll go get it, and we'll talk to the kids, and we'll talk to the teachers.
Did you have to miss school when you were sick?
Oh yeah, tons. I'm still missing school right now. I'm in my junior year, and I have to catch up quite a bit right now. My parents just recently went to the school, and they talked about how the condition will affect me, and basically they went around how are we going to plan to help Michael get his homework home, how he can do it, and they really just pared down to the bare minimum to ease the workload on me and just get me to a passing level.
There are people here called child life specialists. They're really amazing. Basically, they're here to help the child adjust to being in the hospital. They find out ways to make them happier, to keep them busy, to have fun, to laugh, and they're really just a wonderful resource here. They also came to my son's school sat down and spoke with all the teachers, the administrators, and said, this is what's going on. And, you know, Michael has cancer. He's having a port put in his chest, and this is what it looks like. So they actually had visual aids that they could show him. And it was so helpful because these teachers really, some of them had no experience with cancer at all. They didn't understand how chemo affects you're able to concentrate, your ability to learn, your ability to concentrate on the subjects and to get through a day feeling kind of crummy.
The biggest part is my reading. Reading comprehension is lower than everybody else in my grade, so it takes me longer to read and do tests, and it's always there, and it won't, I mean, I can work on it and it's going to be there for the rest of my life, but that's how it is nowadays. When I was little, after my surgeries, my doctors put me on strict orders where I couldn't go outside for recess, which we had 2-hour recess. I couldn't eat with my friends or in the cafeteria at all. I couldn't go to the gym. That was once a week. So for those 3 events, I had to sit in the office and, I don't know, think of something to do for that all that time. Now that I'm in high school, there's not that much effect that it has for me at school.
Had I not known the system, I think we wouldn't have gotten the support that she needed. I really had to fight for that. I really had to fight a lot for that. Since then, because it was a pretty big fight, the school system doesn't fight with me much anymore. So they've been pretty terrific.
What advice would you have for other kids about getting back to school after being out and being sick?
That if you go to school and somebody tease you, you could just tell them that you just came from like that you had got a transplant.
Good advice.
You gotta tell your teachers. Before class starts, when you get new teachers, you gotta let them know that you have this, that, you know, disabilities, or look at your IEP if you're in the resource room, and you just gotta let them know beforehand.
I am in my first semester of college at Washtenaw Community College. My transition to college was kind of rough. I didn't know what to expect, and a lot of the counselors at the college didn't really know how to approach my situation. So it took me a little while, but now 3 months in, it's going awesome. I love it.